It all begins when we start lying to ourselves. It all begins when we start feeding into our brains these dangerous and negative thoughts about ourselves. The moment that we lie and we tell ourselves that we are not good enough, unworthy, incompetent, failures, all these demeaning features, that's when we fall into the pit of the inferiority complex. Hello everyone, I am Marwan. Welcome to my channel, Inspired Humanity. Today we are going to discuss the inferiority complex. How does it affect us and how can we deal with it? The inferiority complex is an exaggerated emotion. It is a negative, intense feeling of being inadequate, weak, a failure, not good enough. All these lies that we feed our brains about ourselves is really dangerous and harmful to our mental status and to our social life. Interestingly enough, the inferiority begins the day we are born. As infants and babies, we rely either on our parents, our caregivers, or any adult who is around us. Thus, as we progress in life and as our parents allow us to have our own autonomy, our inferiority starts to decrease, in which our personality starts to show. However, some children, they fail to achieve that because maybe they are living in a stressful house where the parents are not really fulfilling the needs of their children. Hence, these children will build an insecure attachment with their caregivers, and this insecurity would project onto their future. The other source of inferiority comes from a negative life experience or being surrounded by peer group or friends, colleagues, or managers or bosses who are just trying to demean us and crush us. And it's not that because we are not good enough. One of the reasons these people would attack us is because they feel inferior, and instead of fixing their own inferiority, they project it on us as a source of self and psychological defense. The ultimate truth is everyone has an inferiority. If we want to understand what does inferiority complex look like, imagine or remember when you demeaned your achievements and you weren't able to recognize your own success. Even you were afraid to try and move forward or even set goals in life because your brain is just bringing up all these false ideas that you drew about yourself or you allowed others to instill into your own mind. The inferiority could be divided into two types: the positive inferiority, which we can benefit from it, and the negative inferiority that destroys us. The first one comes from knowing that we as humans, we lack plenty of knowledge in different areas. Thus, knowing that we are inferior and acknowledging that inferiority is an important drive for us to move forward, to put on the growth mindset, to achieve superiority. However, when that inferiority becomes a severe negative emotion, we start demeaning ourselves and we believe the lie that we are not good enough. We start to judge everyone, to criticize everyone. We become aggressive, angry, ungrateful, in which we build a negative view of the world, a negative view of the future, and a negative view of ourselves. And that's dangerous. This destroys us. The inferiority complex reveals itself in our lives in different ways. But the most important way and the most destructive way is when we start comparing ourselves to others. We fear moving forward. We become afraid of setting goals in life. How many times did we procrastinate as a response for comparing ourselves to others? As a response for us being shy, and as a response for us feeling inferior, because we don't want to be judged by others, because we are afraid that our friends or our peers or our colleagues would make fun of us if we failed. But here is the surprise. Failure is good. It means that we tried. Failure could show up in two ways: the failure after trying something and achieving knowledge and learning something new, or the failure of just doing nothing and ruminating on your negative thoughts. So which failure would you choose? Which failure would be our drive towards superiority? Excellence requires small steps towards small goals day by day. Set up a daily goal and start moving forward. Once you achieve it, see how you feel. See how you will be proud of yourself. It is the time to get to know ourselves and stop comparing ourselves to others. Every person, every human being has a one winning factor, and every human being is required to focus on that one winning factor to excel in life. What we tend to do is that we forget about our one winning factor and we start focusing on our friends or other people's winning factors. Focusing on their one winning factor will get you nowhere other than being distressed and depressed. We are all unique. We are all a masterpiece, and every one of us has a different and a beautiful potential in life. The only thing that we need to do is to know what is that factor and what is our potential. And that is achieved through self-knowledge. Another factor that we need to hold is loving ourselves. Loving ourselves is crucial. The moment when we love ourselves is the moment when I say that I am alive. Love is life. Remember that God created us on His image and likeness, and God wants our prosperity, and God provided everything to us in life. Acknowledging the fact that we are created on God's image and likeness allows us to conclude an important factor. God is love, so we are love. The moment that we cannot love ourselves, it is the moment when we are unable to love others. God said, love your neighbor as yourself. How could you love others if you can't love yourself? And once we lose the sense of love, that's when we destroy ourselves. And that's when we are really living hell on earth. Loving oneself allows us to be grateful, to explore, to search how could we excel in life, allows us to be happy, and allows us to be handy to any person who is in need. I know it's very hard to be attacked and demeaned by other people, especially our closest ones, even the ones that you wouldn't expect that they would demean you or talk down to you or try to project their insecurities. We shouldn't care what people say because people do not define us. We define ourselves. Our values define us. Our goals in life define us. God Himself defined us as being God's children, God's masterpiece, who gave us His dignity. So all humanity is equal in God's dignity, and that's our source of power and of equality. To deal with the inferiority complex requires us to rewrite our life again. Remember that we are the authors of our lives. Remember that we do have the freedom, the power, and the responsibility to change and rewrite a new, better, and a powerful narrative. No one keeps reading the same book. Books do change, stories do develop, and that's what we should be ready for. It is time to make a better meaning of our life. And to make a better meaning requires us to focus on ourselves, focus on our potential, and put ourselves in the right perspective. Enough demeaning ourselves, enough talking down to ourselves, and enough ruminating and swimming in the sea of negative thoughts. These negative thoughts should become the source of energy that pushes us forward towards growth, towards success, towards a better achievement, and towards knowing that no human being is perfect and that we can achieve excellence if we work on that. It is time for us to shine because we are the light of the world. We are that light that should guide other people towards prosperity. Do you really want to know how you can overcome that inferiority complex? The first thing we need to do is build up the habit of positive self-talk. Let us start saying good things to ourselves. And the first thing I want to tell myself is that I love you. I love you with all your strengths and weaknesses. And let us start affirm and validate ourselves. And let's start saying, I am good enough. I am loved and I am a success. I'm strong and I can fulfill my goals. But life was tough on me, and that's fine. Let's learn from it. Life will never be easy, but life won't be tougher than your ability to handle that toughness. You can handle every single toughness in life, and that's how God created us. A second thing we can do to overcome inferiorities: get rid of your negative load. Avoid negative people in your life. But to do that perfectly and to achieve the ultimate healing, we need to forgive them. That's tough, but we need to forgive them because these people are in real pain, and the only way they can express this pain is by demeaning others. The second thing, we need to love them. It's easier said than done. The third thing is pray for them. Forgiving the people who destroyed us, loving the people who demeaned us, and praying for the people who told us that we are nothing and unworthy is the ultimate healing for ourselves and for them. This is the end of the episode. Now it is the time for the exercise. When a negative thought comes our way, let us stop it and let us ask it. From where do you come from? What is your source? Second, why is this thought or word coming my way? What do you want from me? Third, what is the lesson that I am called today to learn from that word or from that thought? Fourth, how could that thought or negative word benefit me in life and make me a better person? Thank you everyone for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Click that subscribe button, follow me on social media, and let us inspirit humanity.